we'll save that for a different show. But with that, that's been the Trek Point. So I'm going to toss it over to Frank. Let's get into the patch notes.
Yeah,
what's up with the news?
Get into the patch notes.
Yeah, into the nitty gritty.
There's a lot of news today, so I'm gonna make this kind of quick. Our first article this week comes from Screen Rant's Kyle Gratton. Everything revealed at the PlayStation Showcase on September of 2021. So guys, the PlayStation Showcase is come and gone, and we got some insane reveals this week. I kind of have them more in like a bullet point order, so I'm just gonna kind of list them off, and we'll just talk about it. So we got looks at Guardians, Deathloop, Rainbow Six Extraction, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, GTA 5, and Blood Hunt. I put these all together specifically because these are games that we've either seen or we're getting little smaller looks at right now.
Ghostwire as well.
Ghost. We'll get back to Ghostwire in a minute. It's Ghostwire is a little bit ahead, but yeah, I mean every one of these games except for GTA 5 looks good. GTA 5 is weird, man. It's like I don't know what they're doing with this enhanced edition that they're bringing out. If it's just a few little like creature comforts that people didn't like about like the PS4 and PS3 versions of the game, but it just seems like it's just GTA 5 again, but utilizing the SSD. That's basically
Isn't there supposed to be some story stuff to it?
No, it's the same story. The only difference now is that it's like seamless character switching, which you can do on a PC anyway, so it's not really all that different. And then of course you got Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I know some of us aren't really fans of Borderlands here.
Middling
cool.
to decent. I'd play.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'd play this one. Yeah, I'd play this one. It's all right. Looks cool. Looks D&D. If you're into the D&D crowd, you're probably going to want to play this.
Nardog, now on the PS37, GTA 5.
Exactly.
Right.
GTA 5 is going to outlive us all somehow.
Damn right.
GTA 5 was at the PlayStation conference for, I think, PlayStation 3 in 2010.
Yes.
And now we're 2021 and it's here.
We're still getting these fucking things. Yeah. I think we talked about Siege earlier, so I'm not going to bring it up, but yeah, it's the same game everybody else is doing right now. Deathloop looks good. Stop showing it already and just fucking release it. It's 4 days away. We did not need to spend 5 minutes.
All of it.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a short game closer to like Dishonored 1, which kind of annoys the fact that they keep fucking showing new stuff there. Yeah. It's fine. Like, we get it. We know what the game's already doing. The game's releasing at the time in 4 days. We didn't need to waste time at the Sony conference for another Deathloop trailer. And then Guardians, we got another look at Guardians. It looks just like a James Gunn film, but
they didn't use any. They used DMCA free music on this trailer. It looked like, so it didn't. Yeah, so it didn't have that same punch as like the first trailer did, in my opinion. Because music is a big thing for Guardians of the Galaxy, right? It gets you hyped up. It gets you ready for what the battle and stuff.
I heard that the music actually is in-game music. So Star-Lord apparently gets his name from a band in this game, and someone created that music for the band Star-Lord.
Oh,
so it's possible that that's the music.
All right.
Yeah,
because
that's their way of putting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also makes it a little bit stream friendly once the game actually comes out and people can actually stream it online in hopes that they don't DMCA that music.
Yes.
Which sucks. A big identity of Guardians of the Galaxy is the music, and music that I guess we attach to, right?
I always love creative uses of music, and I think having a in-game music group and creating music for that, I think that'll be really interesting to see. And of course, it's not going to have the same emotional weight to music we already know, but I think that's really cool.
And we'll still
doing that.
Yeah,
so.
we'll still
OSTs are definitely a lot more superior than just a random licensed soundtrack. 100%.
Yeah, and we'll still have those hits too. So I'm excited for both. Just trailer wise, makes sense.
Oh, I mean, 100%. even streaming the game, you won't be able to stream the game with that other music on.
No, but you can hopefully then switch it to Star-Lord, and then you have that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I said Blood Hunt already. That's still a game. I still get emails about joining the alpha on this.
I was wondering.
That was
the game that kept pissing me. It's already out. That's why it kept pissing me off. I'm like, why is it here? It's already out. But it's on PC. It's not on console.
It's weird. I have a love-hate relationship with this game, specifically because I really love the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines like series. But that series has just been kind of rewritten, redone. Everybody's got a kind of different idea of what Vampire the Masquerade is supposed to be nowadays, and it's just a shadow of its former self at this point. To the point where we're not even getting Bloodlines 2 probably. Because nobody knows what Bloodlines 2 is really kind of supposed to be at this point.
Was that announced too? Was it
was supposed to come out this year.
Shown.
Yeah, and there's gameplay and everything.
Delayed, like definitely, I think, right, or something like
that. It's just turmoil in the studio. Nobody knows what Vampire the Masquerade is supposed to be, and to that end, I say play Bloodlines and to get the same feel of Bloodlines. It's not that difficult. It's edgy vampires. Think Blade 2. You know what I mean? Like, there's no extra subtext that has to be in there. But yeah, we also got a look at a new game called Project Eve. Honestly, to me, it looks like every hack and slash kind of in one game, and it's super glossy.
I actually like the showing of this game. I
think it looks really good, but I think it looks really good because it just looks like every other game that we like.
I was expecting this game to be from what's the studio? The hack and slash Platinum Games.
Platinum. Yeah, we both thought it was Platinum.
Yeah.
On the stream, we were like, "Oh, it's Nier. Oh, it's Project Parasite Eve."
I said it was Nier at first.
Yeah, that's what Frank said.
We were like, "Oh, is this Parasite Eve?" I don't know anything about Parasite Eve.
There's a shot where she's like walking, and I'm like, "That is literally the Nier animation."
Yeah.
Even just the environment,
the little robot buddy too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
The fighting style itself looked good, but I know I said this when we were watching it. It just seems like this is gonna be a weird way to explain a video game. It looks wet because everything is so glossy that everything looks like there's just water on it. The hair, the suit, the monsters, the street, everything just seems wet, and I'm not a particular fan of that particular style. Like, I understand that rain happens, but it's everywhere. Like, inside, outside. When
it's like sand.
Flips, it's just like
it's like sand. It gets everywhere.
Water, and I'm like, okay, like I understand that that's an art type of style, but it just makes me almost feel uncomfortable watching it.
It was too much.
It was too much gloss.
Yeah, it was too wet.
Yeah,
it's too wet.
Like.
It's like sand, but not coarse.
Yeah.
Get a demi-gloss.
All right,
and it's that weird like, it's that style of those type of games. It's not a new concept of these type of games that we've seen, but it's so weird to see them at like the PlayStation conference. Knights of the Old Republic gets a remake. It's a PES timed exclusive.
Looks good.
Yeah,
I have thoughts about this.
Okay,
I think it's so weird that Sony of all people gets the remake. Somebody said they probably got it because of like some back-end Marvel deal, but like
I honestly do think it's John Drake because he used to work at Sony. Doesn't he used to work at Sony?
It could be.
He used to. That's a good point.
And he's running Lucasfilms.
He's over there in Star Wars land. Yeah, doing Star Wars stuff.
Very possible. That'd be a good way of thinking that. Yeah, the only reason I think it's weird is just because like the PC crowd has kept kind of Knights of the Old Republic very much alive throughout all these years, and Xbox to an extent as well.
I was gonna say it's a PC Xbox game. Yeah, it's a PC
exactly.
Xbox game,
So to throw it on PlayStation, kind of just like, okay, we kept this game kind of alive and constantly talked about. And the people who are keeping that game alive and constantly talked about are the ones not even getting the game.
To be fair, though, if I'm not mistaken, the last several years, Sony and PlayStation and Star Wars have been hand in hand in terms of releases and extra bonuses and stuff. I'm pretty sure Battlefront had a large push on PlayStation. So to me, it just makes sense that they're just continuing that relationship. And, it is a timed exclusive. Hopefully it's not timed exclusive as very much like... what was it? Final Fantasy, where I don't think it's still not coming out to other consoles yet.
Oh, it's definitely. There was some data mine showing that like it's possibly coming to like the Epic Game Store and stuff like that. But like
in like a year, probably.
You got to take those things with a grain of salt. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's still been a while. So, I'm hoping that it's not as bad as that. But, this was actually a kind of a year for surprises of Sony getting the Xbox stuff from a long time ago, right? So you got KOTOR, and then you also have Alan Wake that was showed later.
Yes, that's actually the next one here.
Yeah.
But I just found that kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like the two crowds that kind of kept it alive are the ones not getting the game. But on that topic too,
I think it's a nice opportunity though to give to a crowd that hasn't really had the opportunity to experience this game yet. What it does kind of feel like a middle finger to the other two, but it's nice to see it. I'm always excited when games get brought to new platforms in new ways, so we'll see.
I'm also very intrigued to see how they're going to change this game.
Yeah, remake seems a lot more different than remaster for me in that respect. So I got a feeling they're probably going to pick and choose what they want to keep within that Knights of the Old Republic story, and obviously make that canon in the Star Wars universe. Well, people are very excited because like Revan's finally going to maybe be canon in this universe now.
Yeah, because like you look at Demon Souls, that's a complete remake of the game, right? But they kept all of like the DNA of the game there when it comes to the fights and stuff like that. When it comes to combat, so maybe they'll keep like the same kind of combat with it. But like just visuals will just be really, really, really good.
I will tell you, as somebody who's played KOTOR close to about almost a year ago now, the combat has not aged well. Combat system needs a complete overhaul.
Is it a turn-based game?
It feels kind of like, have you ever seen Witcher 1 combat?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the greatest in the world.
It's very pause and start kind of, turn-based.
I mean, we'd probably be used to it if we're playing Final Fantasy.
And hey, if you have the original game, you could still play it on your Series X and Series S, because that's how I played it, and it has a 60 FPS boost on it now, and it looks kind of nice.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, Xbox has kind of kept that game alive, man. People were super excited when KOTOR was like backwards compatible, and like you can play it on the new systems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But on that, we also have Forspoken got shown off as well. Looks really, really good.
Oh my god!
There's some shots in that game where I'm like, damn, dude.
They're taking the Luminous engine and fucking running with it. That's what they're doing.
So is this the engine that runs on Avengers? Because
no, this is the Final Fantasy 15 one.
Final Fantasy 15, interesting.
Yeah, this is that engine.
I'm just concerned about her cat, guys. What's gonna happen to her cat? Like, she just left it in the other realm. Like,
that cat has huge eyes too. Did you notice that?
Yeah, like
I mean, I feel like the cat would be safer there than here, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
You got dragons here. The cat's not gonna be able to do anything against the dragon.
I mean, a cat companion would be pretty cute. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, totally. I'm over the moon for this. By the way, written by Gary Whitta and Amy Hennig, who penned the first 3 Uncharted games. So I'm super stoked for whatever this is, because it very much fits in the same style. And I brought this up in my Artful Escape video. It's the same trope of person from normal world goes into fantasy world and goes on an adventure. Like, it's the same trope. I love them. I love so many of them.
Yeah, it's isekai.
I love a good second world story.
I was trying to avoid saying the word because
I'll say it dead ass right now.
Good. I like the fact that it's an isekai. It's an anime.
Isekai.
It's the Last Starfighter. It's Page Master.
There's like
it's an American isekai. That's all it is.
Like
okay, y'all, I can only handle so much crosstalk. I'm sorry, I love you, but 4 people talking at the same time is a little much.
My bad.
All right, but yeah, it looks really good.
One thing I want to say is that this one doesn't look as jarring when she's in normal clothes, like Strangers in Paradise did. When those guys walk up, you're just like, what fucking urban planet did you fucking raid before you came over here?
Straight up though. She has Converse and flannel. It looks dope.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Okay.
She's wearing what every character has worn, and like every character we see in these trailers is wearing the same fucking clothes. Even the Saints are wearing the goddamn flannels and chucks.
Yep.
It's hilarious.
She was doing a startup and then she got sucked into the fantasy world.
I was gonna say she's from San Francisco. She was just sitting over there on her desk.
If I moved to San Francisco, do you just get like a flannel and chucks? Is that just like the standard?
Right when you get to your apartment, and you want to rent your apartment, it's on the table already for you. Your starter kit is there.
Hell yeah.
Starter kit.
Mario and I were on a podcast this week, the penultimate podcast, talking about some of our predictions. And we were talking about how Alan Wake Remaster was probably going to be insanely well done and completely different than Alan Wake. And we finally got a reveal on it. And it's just an up-res.
Yeah, it is just an up-res.
It's just an up-res. I love you, Remedy. Don't get me wrong. Remedy, I fucking love you. You make amazing games. I don't give a shit about this remaster. I'm sorry. It doesn't look too crazy different. I understand you remodeled Alan. It's fine. To me, this could have been an update to the game or something like that, but it just, I don't know. I don't feel like this was it, man. This was the play.
For people who have played Alan Wake, or do you think this is for people who missed it and
honestly
are wanting to get back into it?
Alan Wake has been given away for free for so long at this point that if you haven't played Alan Wake, you haven't played Alan Wake because you don't want to play Alan Wake.
Well, to be fair,
though,
a total console,
Yeah,
has completely been missed on it. So if you are just a PlayStation person, this is going to be your first time. It was Xbox originally for forever, and PC, obviously.
Yeah, like Humble Bundle has given it away. Xbox has given it away multiple times. It's on Game Pass. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like this wasn't it. I now that I think about it, I do understand that. Yeah, Sony people haven't played the game yet. This is good for them, but
I mean, it reinforces the fact that I don't have to pay $60. I'll just go play my old one, which I haven't finished. So
Exactly.
like I was looking forward to it because I was like, man, I would like to go back into the Alan Wake universe, maybe with some revised controls because those controls haven't aged very well. But it looks like I'm just going to play the Game Pass version again, just all the way through.
Yeah,
which is fine. It's just not my. It wasn't that remaster's not built for my target audience. And then we got another look at Ghostwire. This is just my opinion on this already. It just looks like it should have already released years ago. And after all these trailers and looks and all these things, I still have no idea what the fuck this game's about. I don't think anybody does. I don't think they even know what this game's about at this point.
Yeah, that game looked rough.
It's starting to
I think
frame rate wise.
People think they know what it is, but every single person has a different idea of what it is. That's the vibe I was getting.
Yeah, it's been through so much different internal problems with the creative director leaving, with Bethesda now being owned by Microsoft. It makes the whole exclusivity thing a little hard to do. It just feels like it's a game that should have been released years ago at this point. And it's starting to show its age very heavily now. And the fact that they're still kind of mum on like what exactly you're supposed to do in this game. Like, I think you're supposed to be like an exorcist and you're exorcising ghosts, but those look like Slendermen.
Yeah.
The main character, if that is the main character, he looks like that one guy from The Good Place. Jason, I think his name is. I don't know, just like a goofball.
Well, I imagine like the way that it's placed, they're based on like Japanese folklore, like yokai. So they're almost like modern day versions of different yokai that you'd see in like Japanese myths and legends. So it's probably why it looks a little bit strange to us. But honestly, the best way to just like not set expectations for your viewers is just not tell anyone how the game's supposed to be or how it's supposed to be played or the story premise. So you know what? Do you, Ghostwire? I look forward to playing this game in 2030.
I was gonna say
2030.
We have no release date for this game.
Yeah, still no release date either. That's crazy.
I just want to see this game evolve into something absolutely bonkers by 2030 because I think that's the trajectory of this game at the moment.
Yeah, and it makes me sad because Tango Gameworks can make some insanely good games. Evil Within is so fucking good. Both of them are, if you like that genre of game, are masterpieces. If you don't like that genre of game, some people don't. I understand that. But this, it sucks because this game, ultimately, with everybody being so disinterested in it, is probably ultimately going to fail with all the problems it's had. And the only people who are going to kind of suffer for it is Tango Gameworks. And it sucks because that means we probably won't see maybe even Evil Within return or anything like that. I don't even know if Shinji Mikami is still even at the studio anymore.
Yeah,
as,
because
like, the
this
directive lead.
wasn't his game.
Yeah, this was Miki Nakamura's game, I believe her name
and
is.
I don't think he's even working on this game even
Yeah.
now after
Yeah.
direction change.
And Nakamura has since left the studio to go pursue a more indie focused studio, I believe, if I'm correct. And it sucks, you know what I mean? Just to see like a studio that had so many good talented people in the horror space kind of just, you know, dissolve. But hey, hopefully I'm wrong and Tokyo releases and it's a fucking 10 out of 10 game. You know what I mean? I would love it. I would love to be wrong because I love Tango Gameworks and I hope nothing but the best for them.
Calling it now. Game of the year 2030.
Maybe.
Woo!
There you go.
This is not a game, but they showed an interactive exhibit and it looked like a cool horror game. It was so disappointing that it's just an interactive exhibit.
Hey, I like Radiohead.
I mean,
excited.
it's their new album, right?
It's their new album. Yeah, it's their like remix of their Kid A album, I think. So it's an
And let me
existing
guess,
album.
their own that studio is published by Sony's probably music group.
I'm actually not sure. That's actually a good point. I'm very curious. But they were
I
teasing
wonder-
this earlier, and then we didn't know it was a game. So
It's just it's like it's not really it's more just like an
It's an
interactive like
experience.
exhibit from what they described it as. So you're just kind of like looking at environments.
But the thing is, like,
Kinda
it
cool.
literally when we saw it, it was like 5 seconds. We're in,
Yeah.
we're out. It was whatever, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if
it's just
you're
a
a
weird
radio-
place to put it in your state of
Yeah.
play.
I guess
If you're a Radiohead fan, that's great for you.
it's going your PlayStation though, which is cool. I mean, it's an I mean, yeah, I guess it's not a quote unquote game, but at the same time, it's like it's an interactive thing. So is that considered a game? I don't know. Either way,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when it comes out though.
We could have a whole debate about that.
yeah, we could.
Tachia announced. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
Yeah.
Tachia
You mean
announced.
Breath of the Wild?
Oh, hold on. Announced. It looks like a cool Wind Waker like adventure game. It is definitely not a kids game.
This looked great. This looked like a fly ass game. Looked like a Fias game. I think we're gonna enjoy it.
It looked
Yeah.
like a Fias game when it was announced last year as a Stadia game.
Yes, that's what I remember it from. I was like, I've seen this. Like, I
Oh,
was
they
like, I've
stole
seen this
it?
game.
So-
Somewhere.
Rip Stadia.
It was announced at the PlayStation showcase that it was a PlayStation 5 and Epic Play Store. And someone went on Twitter and said, "Hey, I thought this was a Stadia game." And the people who released it were like, "Yeah, unfortunately, that didn't end up happening." They specifically said, "Unfortunately, our partnership with Stadia did not work out. We had to adapt quickly and found found a home on the PlayStation and Epic Game Store. This enables us to be to keep working on the game and make it the best that it can be." So yeah,
Good for them for
Yeah.
dealing with a shitty situation. But RIP
Yeah.
Stadia.
It feels bad for Stadia.
I mean, I wouldn't say RIP Stadia. It just means that the specific
I
game
mean,
is just not currently coming to Stadia at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks cool. Mario is 100% right. It does. It's one of those weird it looks so creatively good, but then they do stuff like here's a Breath of the Wild mechanic, and it's like, okay. I guess.
Listen, if anyone's ever said that Breath of the Wild wasn't going to influence the industry for the last 10 years of game
Right?
development,
It's
you're
like
a
how
fucking liar, because it
it's
definitely
like how the
did.
Bourne Identity just like made every film look exactly the same.
True.
Right?
Every fight scene has to be like quick cuts and like
Shaky
up close,
camera and
shaky
shit.
cam.
I mean-
Now every game has to have a climbing mechanic with a gliding mechanic,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like it's okay. I'm probably gonna play it because the adventure game space right now is very, very. There's nothing really much there in terms of like that fun like kind of Legend of Zelda like game. So.
And to be honest, it looks like a game where I don't murder anything. That's a win.
And it's on a PlayStation. You don't have that kind of Legend of Zelda like game on a PlayStation. So
No, unless you're playing
Yeah.
Ocean Horn
Yeah. Yeah.
or Tunic.
Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection announced for PS5 and PC.
So pissed.
It's Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy with graphical upgrades and I believe other kind of quality of life upgrades.
Heyo, shout out to Lost Legacy.
So that is the Uncharted game I have not played yet.
You're right.
Yeah.
So I am.
It was like $40.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it when it comes to PC now because I can actually play it in 60 frames per second now. And,
Yes.
You know,
And then don't quote
high
me on
graphics
this.
quality.
I've heard from multiple sources, like multiple people. I can't find any evidence of it yet. But apparently the other games were announced that they're coming to PC as well, like Uncharted 1 through 3. I've heard multiple people say this. I didn't see it said anywhere. I didn't see any articles on it, but I've seen multiple people say this, that the whole Uncharted series is coming to PC.
I looked at the blog because, right after the showcase, they had like blog posts for every single release, and there was nothing there specifically. But I don't see down the road where I can't,
Yeah, that's where I was like, I didn't put it in there because I don't know, but if I am wrong, this is me letting people know that I'm probably... It might be there, it might not be there. I don't know. I haven't found any evidence.
Yeah,
of it.
this collection is specifically about 4 and Lost Legacy that I've seen.
Yeah, it's a Legacy of Thieves bundle. It's 2 games.
Listen, if there's no bundle with Golden Abyss, then I don't want to buy
it. Yeah. Gran Turismo 7 looks absolutely bonkers. Level of insane to the point where, like, I swear to God, sometimes I could not figure out whether or not I was looking at a game or if I was looking at legitimate real life footage. And I don't say that lightly, you know what I mean? I'm the first one to scrutinize a game for fucking up. But this game looks absolutely bonkers level of fucking detail. You can definitely tell why they took so long to get this game out on the new systems.
And they have a release date for it, which is weird that they didn't show it in the actual conference thing, the showcase.
To be fair, as someone who's a video editor, I can understand deadlines, and it's possible that they just needed the video to be compiled.
Yeah,
and they could just put the date out later.
Because Herman Holt said that it's coming out in March. So March is looking scary.
Not for me. I'm not buying it, but I'm happy for.
No, it's not even Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
it's just every other game is coming out in
March. February. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to you, man. Elden Ring is all you need.
When did the start of the year get to be so popping?
Oh my god! Next year is gonna have so many releases, which is good because 2021 has felt kind of bankrupt. I mean, there has been great indie releases out to kind of mull over the big AAA like releases and stuff like that. But man, it's made it so easy to play Final Fantasy 14 when you don't really have much to play right now.
I don't know when the slide answer
2021.
No, I was gonna say this to answer your question. I don't know when the cycles end, but game goes basically based on cycles. So probably the main reason is because they need to be done by I think it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter. I'm not sure. But
the first quarter starts in March.
So it starts in March. So then they're probably just like, get the hell out. And then
either it starts in March or it ends March, and April is the first quarter. I think that's how it goes because it's every 3 months. So I'm guessing they want to get it out before the quarter ends.
Yes, that's why there's the summer drought.
March is the end of the quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, March. I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Now for the nitty gritty news from the PlayStation conference. The big news. The news that apparently was throw your phone in the toilet level of crazy. If you remember, some people were saying that. It's like, okay, cool. I was expecting some crazy news, but we did get one insane piece of news, and that is Insomniac is working on a Wolverine game.
Madness.
Wolverine is finally getting a game.
Things to say.
Madness.
Yeah, Mario and I have. This is something I feel like Mario and I put out there in the universe very, very long ago when we were working together and we had nothing to do between the 10-hour work days that we were doing. And I think we were talking about this one year, Mario, where we're just like, if anybody should do anything after Spider-Man, it's Insomniac should do a Wolverine game. And they're doing it. It's happening. We're getting a Wolverine game from Insomniac.
Yeah, we are. And I can't believe it. I definitely want to hear your side. What do you have to say about this? Because I know that you're heavily into the Spider-Man games. Insomniac can do no wrong. They have not done wrong within the last since what was that game? Sunset Overdrive. They've done nothing but bangers ever since.
Sunset Overdrive was a banger. What?
Sunset Overdrive was a banger.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm here for Insomniac. I'm here for them doing things with Marvel properties. I think they're gonna do great. I saw a lot of people throwing out white people wanting to be cast as Wolverine, if they do not hire an indigenous voice actor, I will be very disappointed.
Wolverine indigenous?
I still like, yeah.
I thought he was just. I'm pretty sure he's just a Canadian who lives out in the woods.
I'm very new to Marvel in general, but I read through all of the Echo comics, and there's a run with Echo who goes on a vision quest and meets Wolverine, and they have this beautiful interaction. It's really gorgeous story, gorgeous art. But yeah, like Wolverine is Canadian First Nations, at least in that run. I don't know about the rest of it, but I really hope they preserve that and respect that, and we get to see that in this game.
There's actually a lot of
his mom and dad are like rich people, like they're like they own a manor and stuff, if I remember correctly. Like they are like high up there, kind of wealthy people of their time.
All right, I have no idea. Again, it's just that one instance in the comics that I really know him from. But yeah,
I'm reading like a bunch of articles real quick, and there's a lot of people arguing for the fact that that should be a thing. Huh?
He's from Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, he's from Alberta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I am just very excited for Wolverine, Insomniac Wolverine, because
Wow.
this team is the team that's making Wolverine is the Miles Morales team. So I'm not expecting like a 40-hour, 50-hour thing out of this. I'm expecting like 10 to 20-hour experience.
Yeah,
when it comes to Wolverine, which is what I want from him. Honestly, that's
all you need.
That's all I need.
Yeah, I was talking to Harv about this when it was announced, and it was like, this isn't. I don't think this is going to be an open world game, because Wolverine is not the character who kind of does a lot of open world stuff. Like, he typically just walks to places. Like, he's like that. He's that lax. Like, so it's like, it would not make sense to put him in a big New York City and just prototype it and just have him like just running at Mach 10, running up walls and stuff like that. But I would like to see, like, pretty decently sized hub worlds. You know what I mean? Wolverine is a very stealth oriented character. He does do like run in and go crazy and stuff like that, but he's a lot like Spiderman in the sense that, like, he does, or Batman, where he does a little, he scouts out an area, he can take people out silently and stuff like that, and if the alarm is tripped, then he goes crazy, which makes sense for Insomniac doing it, because they already have all those mechanics in Spider-Man. They have a stealth mechanic, they have a perch mechanic, they have everything, they have the structure basically there. So something like this should fit at home, especially with, like, combat and stuff like that.
My first general thoughts when I thought about, because I wrote a tweet yesterday talking about this, and I wanted it to be a smaller story in the sense of The Last of Us, but it doesn't have to be Last of Us. But the more I thought about it, I think I kind of wanted more in the line of God of War. Where it's very up close and personal in terms of the combat and stuff like that, and not so much a combo fest like the Batman games. I think that a long time ago, I was totally into the Batman combat, as it should be every superhero game, and then you get Spider-Man, and we had a few Batman games since then, and honestly, I'm totally fine with them changing it up and not having it be this arcadey thing that all these other games have done for years. So I wouldn't mind it for it to be more cinematic focused, but then again, that's Sony's MO. That's what people have been doing for forever. By the way, I'm going down this rabbit hole with the indigenous thing, and I'm starting to get convinced. I'm like, that's actually a smart ass idea. So I'm gonna read some of these articles.
Well,
I mean, it all depends on what run they take out of this, right?
Yeah, I mean, they can always rewrite.
They don't have to.
You can always rewrite like any kind of Wolverine story.
Yeah,
they look like they're doing more of like a classic Wolverine here, with the flannel, the hat.
That doesn't
even mentioning anything. Hulk 180. Well, I mean, that's a classic look for him. What are you talking about?
But he doesn't. I mean, that person, an indigenous person, could wear that. It's not a problem.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's the look that they're kind of going for. Is that more classic Wolverine look, like mid 80s kind of run, kind of Wolverine, especially with even putting Hulk 181 on the.
No, totally. There's even the eye patch on the table too, which is hilarious.
Yeah, so they're definitely going for a more like old school Wolverine type of.
I'm just saying.
At least like feel there, you know what I mean? Him hanging out in a bar, stuff like that.
My eyes are open to new interpretations. I'm like, those are cool.
Yeah,
I think Fee is right now banning people.
Yeah,
Fee is. By the way,
there's so many people.
I took a photo of it
There's a faster way of doing this.
I don't care. I'm enjoying Fee sniping the chat.
No, I am too, but I want her to be part of the podcast, not do that the entire time. There is a faster way of doing this.
I know, but at the same time, I've literally been going through, and we're still getting people coming in.
Yeah,
and I don't I completely get that there's ways to do it, but I thought maybe just doing a few, but apparently
it's a little bit different from how we did it last time. Whereas like, it was only one. Now there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, now there's a lot.
Yeah,
it's fine. What I would advise, don't write a tweet about it. They want us to write a tweet about it. They want that little like, haha, we got them. Look at it, we're making them write tweets about it. Just they'll go away eventually. And if we have to end stream early, we could always end stream early.
And I can also do this. I'm sorry for the people that do want to talk. You can always switch it to subscribers only or followers.
I'll put it in emote only mode for right now. At least for right now.
Yeah. If you're out there and I see you sit in the emote, then I might switch it back if you're talking. So yeah, emote only now. Right. Suck it.
Yeah. I would say probably just put it in the sub only.
Insomniac can do.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Insomniac can do no wrong. At least at this point, I trust them. Yeah. But also, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah. We're getting Spider-Man 2 finally. Cool. I mean, basically Mario was kind of right. It was just a CGI thing with a title screen.
Yeah, that's all I needed. And the fact they gave me a year.
I don't want any more. Like
they gave me the year.
I want to see absolutely nothing from this game.
The game is coming out in 2023. We're not going to get any more anyways. At this point, this game is still 2 years down the road. But I agree with you, Slide. This is all I needed.
One of the games that I do not look at anything for. I don't want to see a single thing. Like anytime a trailer comes out, I'm not gonna look at it. I know all I need to know is that it exists. That's like I love the Spider-Man games. Like I'm currently replaying the first Spider-Man. I've played Miles Morales like 3 times. Like I love these games. I just want more of them. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm going to disseminate this, and then I will never disseminate before because because just by looking at the trailer and what the information they've given us, I saw something that I'm like, all right, this is probably how the game's going to go. Again, I don't know how the game's going to go, but this is my guess. Okay. In the trailer, we see someone talking, which definitely probably sounds like Kraven the Hunter. So that's kind of cool. We then hear another voice, which of course is also done by Candyman's Tony Todd. Perfect. Doing Venom's voice. The Venom we saw was very classic. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I've
very like Todd McFarlane looking Venom.
Yes, exactly. Whenever I've seen Venom, he's always looked different depending on who is the host of Venom. So even like going back from the original Spider-Man 1 video game from the PS1 when Carnage joined up with Dr. Ock and made Carnage Dr. Ock, that was cool. Anyways, the reason I'm saying that is because in comic books, it was originally Eddie Brock, then it's jumped around a bunch of places.
One of the people, Thompson was
that's the one I was
at some point,
which very much soldier look. He does Hulk out into a bigger version, but it didn't look like the traditional Venom. Then you also get Matt Gargan, who was the Scorpion, who also had the suit, and it also looked different. So if I had to guess, because this is spoilers for Spider-Man 1. The first time we see any symbiote related stuff, it's protecting Harry or making sure Harry is alive inside this tank. I'm thinking Spider-Man somehow saves him. It escapes and goes onto his suit. That's why we have the black with this thing. And then it goes away at some point in the game and lands on Eddie Brock. That's what I'm assuming what happens.
Yeah. I think you're on the right track. I would say, if I were to guess, it would probably be Eddie Brock maybe was doing some investigative journalism and walked into the wrong lab and got a symbiote injection on accident. After he's trying to maybe get his job back from the Daily Bugle or something.
Straight up Spider-Man 3, is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Literally Spider-Man 3.
My thing is that I think we got to have Spider-Man have the suit at one point, and I think they got to have. That's how I think it transfers very much like Spider-Man 3, is that it goes from one, leads to this, and then goes to the other thing. You know, like there's going to be a conflict between Miles and oh my God, we've actually never seen Miles have this black suit, like symbiote version of a suit too. So I'm curious if they go that route. It's probably gonna, like, Miles is the perfect character to have right now for that story, because you typically have someone like Black Cat or something like that be like the kind of like anchor for Spider-Man, to kind of realize that he's, you know, the black suit's kind of hurting him a little bit, and you know, we've seen it in the comics where he will more gravitate towards Black Cat instead of MJ because Black Cat's more of an evil character at the time, at least, and then have that. But now you have someone like Miles who can who knows Peter at this point, and can tell him, like, hey, Peter, you're acting really sus right now, bro. Which makes me excited for their relationship and how it grows and how it changes and is conflicted, you know, actually coming ahead at some point.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see how they interact.
That's all I want to talk about that trailer.
We get so little of them interacting, at least so far. So I can't wait to see them together and the story they tell. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Harv, you had something to say about it?
No, I was just gonna say, bring back who's the guy that plays Eddie Brock?
Oh, Topher Grace?
Fuck. Yeah, bring back Topher Grace. You know,
and he's gonna be the face model and everything.
He's gonna be the face model. Yeah.
Hey man, we might see him in Far From Home. Who knows?
Mario, can you while we're setting up this last piece, can you pull up I'm gonna grab a video, and if you could pull it up, please. It is the Spider-Man animated series when Peter Parker is chasing the Shocker up a clock tower, and it's some of the best voice acting you could ever see ever.
I
don't think we can do.
Oh, can we not show that?
It's because Discord. You can't send me stuff. You know, we gotta
rip.
Oh wait, if you put it in the doc, I can actually grab it.
Okay. Yeah, I could probably
put it in the doc. But yeah.
But yeah, and then the I did say right now also with the Insomniac thing that Insomniac is fully proving right now that they are the apex studio over at Sony right now, and Naughty Dog needs to step the fuck up.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog, where the hell are you?
We get it.
You
put it in a fucking year, okay?
It doesn't matter, okay? Where's Factions?
They had 3 games that came out like last year.
Oh, boo-hoo. Look at Insomniac pulling double duty over here with like every game coming out at Sony, okay?
I was messing with Frank when we were watching. It's like, this is an Insomniac Direct, not a PlayStation Direct.
Oh, yeah. Insomniac just carrying the PS5 on their back. Remember that. Remember that when the PS6 comes out and Naughty Dog puts out one game. On that note, and it's Factions. God of War Ragnarok finally gets some gameplay, and it looks fucking amazing.
Oh my God, I'm so freaking. This is the game that I'm so freaking excited about. And the guy that plays Odin, the voice actor, is Richard Schiff. He's from The West Wing. I fucking love him. He's an amazing, amazing actor. And
in The West Wing,
he is Toby Ziegler, speechwriter. He's playing Odin, which I'm really excited about.
I love that.
Yeah, and yeah, like they gave us enough story to see what this game is going to be about, how they change the combat, and like where we're headed, what direction we're headed for this game, and I'm so freaking excited.
Let's go. I don't really have much to say other than I want to play this game. I'm excited. Let's play some more God of War. All right? Give it to me.
Yep.
Just give it to me. That's all I ask for.
I think it's quite interesting that some of the comments that are coming out of this game is specifically talking about the physique of Thor.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that they're like...
Oh, yeah? Because his hand is really thick.
He's not fit enough.
It's because he's dummy thick.
But here's the thing. Someone actually went and fully explained that there is a difference between like fit people and heavyweight, like people who lift weights. And what he currently has is a heavyweight lifter body, which is quite normal for that specific like area because they're in the north, and like it's normal to see specifically like Nordic Vikings having that type of build where they will kill a bear. Like they do not give a flying fuck. They are massive. Like just because they're like, oh, but he doesn't look like Thor from the MCU. Like, sure, like
They
cool.
do realize that Marvel is not an expert on Norse mythology, right?
Yeah, guys,
The MCU should
Thor
not be
existed
your
before
reference
Marvel.
for Norse mythology.
And let's be real here. This man's been in like isolation for like years in the story. So like, okay.
At the very bottom, Mario, I put a link for you. The very bottom of the doc.
Okay.
Yeah. No, someone literally like, I wish I saved the tweet for this, but they explained that the way that like the MCU characters, they're fit, but they're not like, but they're also on specific diets. They have different regimes. They're doing different workouts and stuff like that. Thor is like, I have killed a man. Like, I have not only killed a man, I've killed a bear. I've killed like any large animal my way. I've done it not only with this hammer, but with my hands. Like,
Thor looks like anybody who's lived in the cold for a very long time.
Correct. Also, he's not like, no offense to the people, like the men of the MCU. Like, obviously, this guy's not eating a kale salad and like lean chicken. He's eating like
he's eating whole mooses. Like, this man eats a whole pig by himself. He has to survive that cold wilderness.
Yeah, but I also think body shaming a video game character because they're unhappy with the fact that they don't look like an MCU like statuesque man is absolutely
this is an actual thing. This is actually happening.
People are pissed.
Oh yeah, people were
body shaming Thor.
I will say, just to be devil's advocate, for all the people stepping out and was like, "Yo, Thor look good." Where the fuck you at on my Tinder? That's all I'm asking. Where the fuck you at? I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If you're gonna say
I
that,
could look like this man. It's a possibility.
Oh my god.
Justice for chubby Thor. Exactly.
Right.
look.
I'm just
Look,
right. I'm very
Look at him.
I'm just very confused on why people are mad because they're two different properties.
People, the problem with today is that as soon as you show like a design for a character or something like that, people already have a determined idea of who these characters are supposed to look like, and sometimes you just get people who just take it to the next level. And I'm sorry, video game characters don't look like you. They're gonna look different. Okay, if you want them to be fit,
nobody noticed.
Fine, but it's not your fucking character. Get over it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
if you want that type of game, go play fucking Fallout or Skyrim or something like that.
Hey,
this
Thor's in Fortnite.
Yeah,
he looks good. Fortnite.
Oh my god.
well, I mean, like in any interpretation of Thor in media over the past, not even just like the MCU, but over like the past 50 years. Like if you look at like anytime there's been mentions of like a Norse god or like specifically a character that's named Thor, he's always like ripped, like shoulders big, like arm, like huge biceps, and like has that kind of idea like that people have of like what a fit man is, and not specifically like, oh, this is what he probably would have looked like if he was a person in that type of era. Like if you look at heavyweight champions, not specifically like wrestlers, but men who actually like lift heavy weights, they're not like your typical like, oh, like six, like an 8-pack. They're built different is the best way to put it. And like sitting here and shaming, like shaming him about like, are you joking? Yeah. Like what are you expecting them? Oh, they're like, oh my god, just give me a second, let me go fix this and give him the 8-pack of your dreams. Like no one's gonna do that.
And then
also,
I will say
that Nardog also said that people don't realize Thor isn't just a Marvel character. He's
a
Norse character.
Thor existed before Marvel. Thor existed way before Marvel. Eons
Norse mythology. So.
At this point, I will say this though, just to play small devil's advocate there. A lot of the people are defending Santa Monica Studio here, and it's rightfully so. You can design a character however you want, and you should not be scrutinized for it. However, if you're also doing that, when it happens the other way around where somebody's overly buff, people really like to complain when people are overly buff in video games where like those characters are buff. Same thing. Who fucking cares? Stop and self-inserting yourself into the game. Who cares if a character is buff or fat? It's up to the creative design of that studio. And if they want to do it one way or another, let them do it. You're there to be on the roller coaster. Let people take you on a roller coaster, but stop complaining on either side whether a character's too fit or too fucking fat. It doesn't matter. Let that studio do what they want to do.
Casual, fat characters.
But he's not even fat. He's
built. He's somebody who survives a wilderness.
I'm not saying his character is fat. I'm just saying I want to see more characters that aren't just like their entire characters being fat. I just want to see more casual fat characters. More body diversity. It's fucking video games. You can make them look however the fuck you want.
Yeah, and it's come down to the point where like we've seen this so often with like people just complaining about like this character's too fat, this character's too thin, this character's not beautiful enough, this character's too ugly. It's like
we got it for fucking Spiderman too, with the fact they changed the face model. It was like everyone gave a shit about that. Like
who fucking cares? Just play the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The character is not you. If you're playing it, like it's not you. All right, this isn't an RPG. Okay, character does not look like you. Peter Parker looks like Peter Parker. Okay, Thor looks like Thor. That is Santa Monica's version of Thor. And if you don't like it, don't fucking play the game.
Play a different game.
Play a game where you have a body slider and you want to make them super fit. Final Fantasy 14's got a body slider. You want a body slider so goddamn badly. You want to make a character that looks like you. But on that note, that was my TED Talk. Everybody just stop bitching about designs and play the fucking games already.
There you go.
On that note,
hey Fee.
So
let's take a very depressing turn.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so excited to go from one topic to another. Here we go. So I wouldn't even call a rise, but like his, I don't know, introduction to the public for a lot of people, because I did not know who this man was. John Gibson decided to voice his ideas of what recently has been put in place in Texas, which is the new anti-abortion law that was started last week, where he said, proud of the U.S. Supreme Court affirming the Texas law banning abortion for babies with a heartbeat. As an entertainer, I do not get political often, yet with so many vocal peers on the other side of this issue, I felt it was important to go on record as a pro-life game developer. Absolutely not. This was not... I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know if he thought that people are going to embrace me with open arms, but it was the complete opposite. People were livid by this tweet, including myself.
But my biggest problem, like obviously this is a problem, but he's played real fast and loose with the term entertainer here for a dude that most people had no idea who he was. Like, I didn't know who this man is. I don't know why he thinks he has a platform big enough to make a stand like that.
My thing is, why even make the stand in the first place? Realistically, just by common sense, right? I get it. You have the right to believe what you want to believe, and 100%, you have the right to do that. But why the fuck would, knowing damn well what's happened to people who have made these comments in the past, post that dumb shit on Twitter of all fucking places?
Yeah.
What did you think was gonna happen?
His name is John Gibson. He is he was the CEO of Tripwire, who made it's on the screen right now. Yeah. Chivalry 2, Maneater, and then a couple of, I think another game, I forgot which one.
Yeah. Either way, fuck those games.
Yeah. Those are the two main games. Yeah.
Oh, they're pretty decent games though.
I do just want to say that since this post has been made by John Gibson, he has stepped down as CEO, and they have cut ties with John Gibson over at Tripwire. They have announced Tripwire appoints new interim CEO Alan Wilson as the company moves forward. This is what specifically was posted on Tripwire on their Twitter. The comments given by John Gibson are of his own opinion and do not reflect those of Tripwire Interactive as a company. His comments disregarded the values of our whole team, our partners, and much of the broader community. Our leadership team at Tripwire are deeply sorry and are unified in our commitment to take swift action and to foster a more positive environment. Effective immediately, John Gibson has stepped down as CEO of Tripwire Interactive. Co-founding member of and current Vice President Alan Wilson will be taking over as interim CEO. Alan has been with the company since its formation in 2005 and is an active leader in both the studio's business and development affairs. Alan will work with the rest of the Tripwire leadership team to take steps with employees and partners to address their concerns, including executing a company-wide town hall meeting and promoting open dialogue with Tripwire leadership and all employees. His understanding of both the company's culture and the creative vision of our game will carry the team through this transition with full support from the other Tripwire leaders. Which, honestly, they did not mess around because that was within 48 hours. Like, he made this post.
I will say, yes, I'm glad they took action so quickly, but I have to question if their partner company who made the post saying we're going to cut all contracts with current leadership, I feel like was a big motivator in them making the statement. Like, yes, they handled it. They handled it swiftly and effectively. But part of me is like, would they have done that if they hadn't had a partner studio come out and make a post first?
Well, I mean, like, right now, it's a really good kind of, like, depiction of what not to do is what Blizzard is currently doing. Because they protected and supported multitude of different people in higher-ups who completely disgrace not only that business, but their employees, and yet some of them still believe that none of that happened or existed. So, yes, I definitely, like, understand from, like, even just, like, in the HR perspective, that probably did influence what they did, but it definitely, they could have taken another route. There are multiple routes that they could have taken in this case, and what they did is what we usually are talking about on this podcast and on other platforms where we say this is what should be happening. They did it. They and most of the time when they say like they've stepped down, especially in a case like this, we don't know, but it's definitely probably not just him stepping down. So we can't definitely like say specifically like rumors because it was specifically stated that he did step down, but I think this was the appropriate way to deal with this. I do believe that people are allowed to have their own opinions. However, and I'm not going to try to get political by any means on this podcast, but if it doesn't affect your own body, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Like, you have literally no say. Just shut the fuck up. And I don't think it's appropriate for him to come out and specifically state that. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not even sorry. You're not an entertainer. You're just being an ass, and you're trying to cover your ass while doing it. And I thought it was really inappropriate of you to do it. So I am happy to see that Tripwire has really like recognized that this was a huge mess up and that they took the steps that they needed to take in this case. If it was influenced by the hundreds of people saying that they were never going to buy a Tripwire game ever again, then that's a good thing because they've been listening to their audience and they realize that this is something that we need to deal with. And it's not even just like it's been a few weeks, it was within a 48-hour period. So I appreciate Tripwire for what they've done. F you, John Gibson. And that law's stupid.
It's pretty clear where we all stand socially. At least I would hope it's pretty clear where we all stand. But like, as soon as you, as a person within a public sphere, make your words known to the general public, whatever consequence for your actions that result from that is completely fair and valid. And he deserves everything he got to him. His apology letter was gross and made me uncomfy. And so I'm very glad he's no longer involved.
Yeah. When you're a CEO of a company, you have to know that having fucking my opinions are my own in your Twitter bio doesn't make your words automatically not have weight to them. You know what I mean? You're not some fucking random Twitter bot. You're a CEO of a company. And I hate to say it, but yeah, your opinions you can have opinions. You know what I mean? They're there. You know what I mean? It's the right you have it as an American citizen. But when you're doing it as a CEO, you're really speaking for a lot of your company. And people do look at that. People look at your company like, this is the person who's running your shit? Really? He's saying this in a public forum? No. It's you couldn't have been more dumber with how you handled that, dude.
Yeah, and I completely agree. That's what the first thing people do. It's 2021. The first thing people see is like, this person said a really shitty take. The first thing they do is they check their description. And they're like, okay, you work at X, Y, and Z. You're a part of this particular one. I know for a fact if I made a huge fuck up, I'm not going to make a huge fuck up like this guy. But if I did, the very first thing that they would see is I'm a part of Point in Progress and I'm a part of another podcast. And so that does not look good for anyone I'm associated with in my Twitter bio, because I'm now like, I'm displaying and advertising the fact that I'm a part of these groups or I'm working with these groups of people. And I think it's like really just so stupid. I know I keep on saying it's stupid, but like it's so juvenile to believe that he could just say this and not see the repercussions. Like, it's...
I think we could be good for a little bit to take it off of sub-only mode. Harv. Sorry, Faye.
Yeah, no worries.
I can do that.
I'll keep an eye on who comes in, who comes out, but it should be good now.
Yeah. No, but I think God, that entire thing
I really hope that what's his name? Alan Wilson gets better PR training.
What is his name? John fuck up John over here?
Alan Wilson is the person who is now
Alan Wilson, the vice president who's stepping in. I hope he gets better PR training. I hope things go well for Tripwire. I think that's all we have to say about that.
I'm pretty sure everybody in chat and everybody kind of knows our views on this topic here. If it's not your body, don't tell anybody else how to fucking live it. All right, that's just the rule of thumb here.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, you don't pay my sub.
Cookie crumbles.
You don't pay my sub.
It is Billy. It is slightly open.
I was about to say, I'm like, wait, don't they?
Don't want.
Wait, what happened?
No. Continue.
Pay my sub?
I don't know.
Final Fantasy sub?
No. I mean, like, they like specifically to talk on this channel currently. They like until we disabled it. The sub. Don't worry about me. I'm tired.
If you have if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. Please go ahead and leave us a subscription.
Oh my god.
And then
with that note, Frank, will you hit us with the tidbits?
Yeah, these are just some quick tidbits here. GameSpot's Eddie McCook reports Alan Wake 2 is happening with Epic Games. I hope so, because I would like a sequel to that game, especially since apparently there's some stuff in Control that's tied to it as well.
Yeah,
there is. There's a whole DLC based around it.
Yeah, there is.
But we need to stop giving things to Epic Games because I'm not going to buy anything on that platform. It'll eventually probably come to Steam.
Actually, they're teamed up, so that's it.
Yeah. It'll come to Steam eventually, probably. They always do. They said that with Borderlands, and look where Borderlands is right now.
Aren't they like a subsidiary of them now, or some shit, or like a team up or some sort? It doesn't matter. Continue.
It always comes to the other platforms eventually. This next article comes from Hollywood Reporter's Ryan Parker. The Matrix Resurrection stuns with first trailer. I wanted to bring this up really quick because the new Matrix trailer looks absolutely fucking badass.
Hell
Yeah, it does.
I wouldn't know because they didn't fucking caption it.
Oh,
did they not?
No.
It's just monologues
Shout
anyway. You're not missing much.
Shout out to Sandra Mae Frank, who made a beautiful Instagram story talking about this and why it's so important. I'm not going to reiterate it here, but y'all, caption your shit everywhere. Doesn't matter where it is. Fucking caption it.
Yeah.
That trailer looked amazing, though. Seeing Keanu Reeves and he just looks like John Wick now. Looks pretty cool. Apparently, they're also taking lore from the Matrix
online game.
Yeah. We'll see about that. I feel like that's bullshit. That's not actually happening, but like. I mean, they had a weird reason not to bring back Lawrence Fishburne.
All right.
I mean, it's not often a movie takes lore from a abandoned MMO video game.
I mean, at the same time, it also had that Animatrix thing, which has some lore that is connected, is not connected. Either way, they take from other sources.
They nailed the song.
Fuck yeah, they did.
for that trailer.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh fuck, this is good. Dude, this is good. Even though I'm not the biggest Matrix fan, like it's fine, it's cool.
I grew
But,
up
like,
on the first Matrix, and little side story. I posted this last night. I met the Wachowski sisters a couple years ago, and that's how I have this giant Jupiter Ascending poster, because it was during their premiere for the movie. So,
Oh yeah, dude. Nice.
I'm excited. I love Speed
Jupiter
Racer.
Ascending is my favorite movie.
It's awesome. I like it
Just
too.
remind you.
It's so silly.
But it's so great. Something about seeing Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss on the same, like in the same frame this so many years later is absolutely something about it just made me feel so good about this. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna be a fucking Matrix 2 and 3, but I'm hopeful. It looks like they are trying to hit a little bit of the nostalgia feel, and it looks like it's gonna be kind of like one of those like kind of for the fans type of movie. You know what I mean? Like if you know type shit.
It looks
but
like,
enough to bring people into the series.
It looks like Force Awakens, Candyman, and Halloween 2018 all rolled up in one. It's a prequel. I'm excited. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else on Matrix? Anybody else have any feelings on the trailer?
Pill me. That's it. Pill me.
Tell me. The next article comes from Ian Walker at Kotaku. Chinese gaming giants lose 8 Bethesdas in value amid government crackdown. So if you guys don't know what happened, the Chinese government is cracking down on playtime for children in China, and obviously investors are not very happy about that. Mainly just because Tencent is kind of dug a big hole in the gaming market by all the acquisitions they do and how much kind of play they have, especially in games like Fortnite, games like on the mobile end of things and everything like that. They have become one of the biggest. I wouldn't really call them a studio because they're kind of just buying up studios left and right.
They're more publishing than anything.
Yeah, they're more of a publisher. So, as an investor, when the biggest publisher you have is now getting gimped very hard on how much people can actually play those games and actually have your engagement, they lost a lot of money. They lost 8 Bethesda's worth. I don't remember how much Bethesda sold, but that's a lot of billions.
7.4 million, I think.
If I remember the article, it was close to like 80 billion. They lost.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Jesus Christ.
$80 billion just down the drain.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Which is basically how much they spent in acquiring all those companies. So that return on investment out the door. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It's such a controversial topic of what the government is doing over there. I don't want to get into it myself because I look at every single side of this argument, and there's not a good conclusion out of any side whether you believe children should have some playtime, because it's everybody has a different opinion on it. But yeah, they lost a lot of money, and that is baffling. So we'll see what happens with Tencent. I mean, they got to recoup that money somehow, and more than likely that means a lot of studios are going to be up in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one.
Oh, I was reading the Lev Star comment. And then the last one here. This comes from IGN's Logan Plant. Bugsnax developer is embracing the 4-day work week. Good on them. Good
for them.
Now everybody needs to embrace it, please. Thank you.
Please.
Yeah, let's
Holy
give us a
moly.
2-day work week and let's make $200 an hour.
Fuck yeah. I'm into it.
Wait, what?
Make workplaces more accessible. Make work hours more accessible. Stop discriminating against disabled workers. That's my rant for the episode.
My TED Talk.
I
Thanks for coming to my tech talk.
for work hours and stuff like that. The benefit of there's always benefits in the different kind of ways for all different kind of jobs, right? Like for me, I could start at any time and just work whenever I want, as long as I get my work done, right? Doesn't matter. As long as I put my 8 hours in and I'm at the 2 meetings, I'm good. The thing is, I wish there was a 4-day work week. The thing is, how do you balance that? Would you do 4 hours, 10 hours, or 4 days, 10 hours?
I would do 4 days, 10 hours if I got like when we used to work at
lot of
Verizon,
people do
we
4
would
tens.
compromise with our
Yeah,
boss all the
4
time. Just like if we're gonna do 10-hour days, we want more days off. You know what I mean? And it for a while there, it did work out well, but then obviously bosses love to change schedule, make you work a day that you're not supposed to, and then that schedule gets fucked up. You know how it is. But yeah, I mean, four work days is not it feels pretty good. It you need time to give people to decompress, or else they're just gonna get burnt out. And the problem with companies nowadays is they look at the burnout like, okay, now this is when we replace you.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
Also,
now
20 to 30-hour work weeks are often more productive than longer work weeks. Like if you're putting more hours in, you're becoming so much less productive. And I think that people don't realize that time does not always equal effectiveness. And like, if you want to work 30 hours a week and get the same amount done, why should people have the problem with that?
Yeah.
I'd rather work like a 30 to 35 hour work week than a 40-hour work week.
Like,
But then it also comes into point where like some people need to work those hours because you gotta pay ends meet, right?
No.
Depending on where you live.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to figure out, but hey, I mean, at least somebody is trying something different in the space, right?
Yeah.
It might work out for them. It might work very
Love to see
badly.
it.
We'll find out. But I'm glad that they're at least trying something different. And even if this doesn't work out for the company and they eventually have to go back to regular work weeks, at least that they had the employees' well-being in mind when they tried to do something different. And that's all. That says way more than anything.
Yeah. You'll never see improvement if you don't try new things. So like,
Exactly.
massive shout out to them.
On that note, give me Bugsnax 2, Sons of Liberty, and I'm in. Yeah.
Give me bug stacks, fruit snacks. I want I want bug stack shaped fruit snacks. That's all I want in life. Give it to me, please.
There
Well,
you go.
every bug's a fruit snack if you just look at it differently,
Oh,
But on that
God.
note,
I want physical fruit snacks.
um,
On that note, that's been the patch notes.
Good job, Frank. Thank you for giving us all that sweet ass news.
no problem.
And fee for the tripwire.
And the tripwire, of course.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I was trying to think of a transition, but all I got was, speaking of fruit snacks.
Forget about workplace
Mario.
problems.